Okay, welcome to this video. So in this video I'm going to be walking you through some basic shortcut keys that you can work with in Microsoft Word doc. Now shortcut keys allow you to work faster, and also flexible on your Microsoft Word doc. Now instead of you to go in details inside of this menu to find some commands, you can easily apply some shortcut command that can help you achieve the same results that you'll also be getting when accessing the commands inside of these menus and all that. Okay, so in this video I'm going to be walking you just some basic shortcuts. And now just a pointer here, the shortcut I'm going to be walking you through here is based on Windows operating system. Now you might hear me use shortcut keys like control keys, alternative keys, shift keys, which are shortcut keys for Windows. So if you are using a Mac OS or a Mac device, now these things might not actually apply to you. So in your own case, you have more of command keys, option keys and all that. So in this case, where you find me or where you hear me say control keys, you can replace it with command key in your own keyboard if you are using a Mac OS. Okay, now the alternative key, you can replace it with your option keys. Now I'll also be sharing the shortcut both for Windows and Mac later on. You can check it below this video on the resource page, but just know that the guide I'm going to be walking you through here is based on Windows operating system. Okay, so first starting with A. Okay, we're going to go through them alphabetical order. Then once we have exhausted all the alphabetical options, we can now explore other advanced options we have. Okay, so starting with A. Now if you want to highlight a document in your document, instead of probably using your keyboard to, let's say you have 10 pages, you have to be scrolling or dragging down to cover all the whole page, you can simply use a shortcut like Control A. It's going to highlight all the documents in your document. Okay, it's going to highlight all the text in your document. Now another way to do this, let's say in a case whereby you don't want to highlight all the document, you just want to highlight a paragraph, you can simply use your shift key, press down the shift key and use the arrow key. Pressing the forward arrow key is going to highlight forward, pressing it down is going to highlight it downward, pressing it up is going to highlight it upward, pressing it backward is going to unhighlight it. So if we are at the front here, holding down the shift key and pressing it backward is going to highlight it. Okay, so that is how you use the shift key to highlight. So another options you have is bold. Okay, let's say you want to bold the text. This is like using these options here. So you can simply, if the text must be highlighted, then use your Control B to bold. Okay, so if you also want to remove it, the same thing, you also have to use your Control, make sure the text is highlighted, then you use your Control B to unbold. Okay, so that is about that. Then another thing you want to do is copy. What if you want to copy text? This is like, instead of highlighting text like this, right clicking on it and having this option here, okay, you can use a shortcut which is Control C. Okay, make sure the text is highlighted, you Control C, you copy, Control C is going to copy it, and if you go to wherever you want to paste it, let's say I want to paste it here, Control V is going to paste it. Okay, so that is it. So another thing I want to talk to you about here is the Control D. To D is for, like, for example, you want to activate, sorry, not here, if you want to activate this font menu here, the shortcut to get that activated is Control D. Okay, it's going to like activate this font menu for you to set up more configuration about your fonts and all that. So the shortcut is Control D. Then Control E is for aligning your text center. Okay, for example, if you want to let's say this text now, want to align it at the center of the document, you can use your Control E. Control E, press it together, it's going to align the text at the center of the document. Okay, so you can also use Control R, is going to align it right, then Control L is going to align it left alignment. This is like using this alignment here, center, right, center and left. Then if you want to justify, this text is already justified, but let's say I remove the unjustification on it. But if you want to justify a text, if once you highlight all the text, Control J is going to justify the text. some of this command, if you point your keyboard on it, you see the shortcut key for it. It's going to be previewed. Not all will have, but most of them you find the shortcut. Like this alignment has a shortcut right there. Okay, so how about if you want to italic a text? Italic a text is like making it to be in a slant form, like using this command here. That is Control I. Control I is going to italic it, make it to be in a slant mode form. Okay, so we talked about Control J for justification. We have done that. Then Control K is for hyperlink. If you want to insert link, this is like when you go to insert menu and go to this link here. Okay, so you can simply use Control K to pop out that box for you to now provide the link you want to link that with. Just make sure that the word you want to the link text you want, the text you want to apply link must be highlighted. Okay, then use your Control K. Okay, so that is for Control K. Then another option is Control L. We have talked about aligning left and right. Also Control M is used to push this indent. If you want to activate this increase indent and decrease indent, let's say this now, I want to push this indent to the right. You see, this is like when Control Z to undo. This is Control M. Now this is also like when you go to this tab here and click on increase indent. So it's used to increase your indent. That is your Control N. So Control M, sorry. So if you want to open new document, is Control N. Control N is going to open new document. As you see now, we have our old document. Now also we have the new document we have just opened. Okay, so let's go back. So if you want to open existing document, let's say you're working on a document, you just launched a new page like this and you want to open another document. Okay, and the document is saved inside your system, you can use Control O. Control O is going to prompt you to open a new document. So you can go inside your system, locate the document where it's saved, or you can access it from your recent file. But that is Control O for opening a new document. And if you want to print out your document, you use your Control P. Okay, Control P is like when you go to this file menu and go to print here. Okay, so it's also the same thing like when you're on the page you want to print out, on the document area you want to print out, use your Control P. It's going to activate the print section. Okay, now the Control arrow for aligning right, we have talked about there. Then Control X, we have also talked about the Control S, but it's used for save. If you have saved this document before and you want to save continuously to it, use your Control X, right? Okay, now because we have not saved this document, it's prompting us to save it for the first time. So we can use either Control X or the save as or save to save initially. But if you have saved this document and you want to save continuous to it, use your Control X. So another thing again is to cut text. So if you want to cut text, let's say you want to remove this text from this position to another position, you can simply highlight it. Let's say this, highlight it, Control X is going to cut it. Then anywhere you go over, you can paste it with Control V to paste. Okay, then also you have to underline. Let's say you want to underline this text. This is like applying this underlining here. So let me remove the italic, make sure it's highlighted. The way you insert this is also the same way you remove. Highlight it, use the command. If you want to apply, highlight it, use the shortcut key. If you want to remove, highlight it, use the shortcut key. If you want to apply, highlight it, use the shortcut key. So on this also you can apply underline, just like going over here and clicking on the line. So you can use the Control U. If you point to it, you see the shortcuts highlighted. Like I said, some will have the shortcut preview to you, so you can simply navigate around them and know how to use them. Okay, so when you cut and copy, you can use Control V to paste. We have done that before. Let's say Control V. Okay, you can paste multiple times once that text is highlighted. Okay, and also Control Z to undo. If you make mistake, you can use Control Z to undo. Okay, this is like coming on this quick access toolbar. Redo, if you undo stuff and you want to redo them, you can use your Control Y. Okay, this is also like coming to this quick access toolbar to use the undo and redo. Okay, So these are basic shortcut keys like from A to Z that you can actually use on your Microsoft Word. And that some advanced shortcut keys you can apply on your document is like combining both the control keys and the shift keys together to achieve tasks. For example, if you want to apply, let's say you want to change this text into capital letter, all the text into capital letter, so you can use your control shift, press the control shift and A at the same time, so it's going to automatically change it to capital letter. Okay, control key and the shift key, the key pointing upward, is going to change it to capital letter. Okay, so if you press it, it's going to change it back to small letter. If you press it again, it's going to change it to capital letter. So that is one command. Okay, now this one now is underlined. Let me highlight it. I will use my shift key, arrow key pointing backward, and I can control U to underline. So if you want to apply double underlining to this text, double underlining, you can use your control shift key, control key, press the control key, shift key, and U, sorry, and D, not U, and D. D is going to apply the double underlining to your document. Okay, so another shortcut you might want to know is the if you want to apply, let's say you want to apply bulletin. Okay, if you want to apply bulletin to your document without going over to your, or where do we have bulletin, in the home menu, right on this paragraph section, and selecting any of the bulletin, so you can simply use control shift L to apply the bulletin. Okay, it's going to apply automatically, just that you will not have options to actually select the one particular design you want. You have to use the default bulletin, which is the first one here. But that is basically how you do that, how you apply bulletin. Control shift key L is going to apply the bulletin. Okay, now another thing I want to show you is that if you want to increase font size, okay, without actually going over here and selecting the numbers as they are there, so you can use your control shift key and greater than to increase the font size, or control shift key less than to reduce the font size. So another shortcut for this one is to use your control plus open bracket. The open bracket is going to make it smaller, the close bracket is going to make it control key with open bracket is going to make it smaller, close bracket is going to make it bigger. So these are some shortcut keys that you can easily work with. Okay, so I'm going to be providing you the list of these shortcuts so that you go over and experiment on your own to learn how they actually work. Now also another thing I want to show you is that you can easily navigate around your Microsoft Doc environment even without your mouse. Yeah, you can do that. Now how do you do that? If you want to activate the shortcut commands that you can easily use to navigate your Microsoft Word environment, all you need to do is just to tap your alternative key. Just tap your alternative key. Now what does it say here? Now if you go to this top here, you see that if I press 1, the 1 is going to serve as the save command, 1 is going to activate the save. Okay, if I come here again and press alternative key, you see I now have option. This is alternative key. I have option. If I press I, it's going to go to info. If I press N, it's going to go to new. If I press O, it's going to go to O. If I press S, it's going to go to save. If I press A, it's going to go to save as. So these are ways you can navigate around your window. Press alternative key. If I go to 2, if I press 2 on the keyboard, it's going to activate the redo command. You can use 2 to activate the redo command, 3 for undo command, 4 here for open, to open new document, 5 here to open existing document, 5 here, I can use 5 to open new document. You see, just tapping on the 5 keys, the open new document is activated. Alternative key is going to give you the options. Here I can select theme with 6 and all that. If I want to go to the home menu, I can press H. Okay, and if I want to go to the font style, I can press double F. You see the navigation. If I want to go to the size, I can press FX. If I want to go to grow font, FK. With this command now, I can navigate around my windows. If I press alternative again, and tap it. If I want to go to insert, I can press N. N is going to go to the insert menu. If I press alternative key again, if I want to go to design menu, I can press G. Okay, inside the G alternative key, if I want to go to page layout, I can press P. Inside the P menu, if I want to open page orientation, I can press O. If I want to go to margin, I press M in my keyboard. You know, see, these are ways you can easily navigate around your Word document. Just know that these options are available for you to experiment and work with. Just trying to walk you through what is possible. Okay, so these are basic shortcut keys. I would love that you spend more time learning about these things and knowing how to use them effectively. Okay, like I said earlier, I'm going to be providing you a file of this list of these shortcut keys, a lot of them, so that you can actually experiment and get familiar with these shortcut keys and be able to use them whenever necessary. Okay, so basically that is it about shortcut keys on your Microsoft Word doc on Windows, and that is it for this video, and I will see you in the next one.